Welcome to FANS Wethu TV. This is a football expert and analyst Lindo Pep, joined by the one and only, much anticipated. I think the people have wanting this for a very long time. Mkobe.
I'm here.
You only had your 1 minute against the Pirates profiling a striker, and the people said in my comment section, you are one of the technocrats. We've got a lot of technocrats here.
And I'm here, my brother.
How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. I'm just looking forward to the big game, to the final, a much anticipated final. We've been crying for this one. And then finally it did happen. Fortunately, you beat Stellenbosch. We also beat Cheaper. And then, we have the much anticipated final.
No. We did well in this Nedbank Cup final. I think one of the best supported cups in the whole entire PSN. I think moving into this final, in getting a 2.5 year, I mean, I was a 2.5 year.
Of course.
I see Nedbank card when I have it. We've really account.
Yeah, I do have account.
I've been
having Nedbank account since I was a student. I think it's from 2015.
Yeah.
And I'm still banking with them.
To be honest with you, looking at this 5 million, I think as a Masanda Wana, Nabu Bobzi, Nabu Ozi, I think we've been traveling the country though, you know. I think to be honest with you, winning this 5 million would be huge. But moving into the final with the 2.5 now, Petty 2.5 Yako, I think it calls for an interesting game, not just based on our monetary value, but in terms of the performance of your Orlando Pirates. I think you guys have been incredible. I think Mamelodi Sundowns has been incredible. We've passed our 72, the record, 72 points. Unbeaten. So I just wanted to get your thoughts with regards to how do you think Orlando Pirates will play, how you guys counter press, because you guys know how Mamelodi Sundowns play. No. We don't change how we play unless we change maybe the profile of the players.
I don't think Pirates will change much in terms of the structure, the formation, the tactics. Maybe they might be adjusted here and there, but then the lineup it's almost what.
When you say adjust in.
We need to adjust. We are playing Sundowns.
You mean playing with 3 defensive midfielders?
Yes, we are going to do. Obviously, we are going to do that. But then we are playing with a very big club, a club which is football loving. They prefer that the dominance of Sundowns is playing football. So it's going to be an interesting one because Pirates is also a ball playing football team. We are not used to marking. Low blocks and all that. We don't play like that.
Because for me, to be honest with you, my biggest, it's not even a worry because it's a final game of the season. But I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how Mamelodi Sundowns, how Orlando Pirates will contain Mamelodi Sundowns in the consolidation phase, where in the build-up process, where we've got a Obas who's been doing well, we've got a Rivaldo Kutse who's been doing well in that space. About Tito, they're always late in terms of pressing. I think that's where the game will be won for Mamelodi Sundowns, to be honest with you. I think we've got one of the best players in the league. I think I've been saying this, Marcelo Allende. I think he's one of the best in terms of in the consolidation phase, where he controls the tempo of the game, controls the rhythm. And I think he's the extension of the coach. I think he's an incredible footballer. He brings in the brains, he brings in the calmness as well, can pass both left and right, has the ability to play in an advanced position, more especially when we play with a hybrid centre back. So looking at that factor and the fact that you guys are playing with 3 number 10s, with the profile of strike, I think it's something that you might talk about. I don't know whether you guys will have Umakhopa or Umabasa, but looking at that alone for me is questionable. You look at with a left back like Umayela. I think Umayela will be a society press, it trap where I think we're going to target him if he plays. You look at a player like Utoki. I think Utoki, when you guys are in the consolidation phase, I think he's a player that will target. I think Ushalulile has had so much joy in pressing him. I think in the Carling Cup, I think last season he got a red card. I think Utoki has been having bad performances against the Sundowns because Ushalulile presses him very, very high. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But then the only difference that we have now is that Koki is ruled out. He's injured for the remainder of the season. Speedy recovery to him as well. And we have managed to recover Dion Hort. Or he's an option for the left back. I've watched Maela since he stepped in when Otto was not available. He has been a little bit slow to adjust himself to this new Orlando Pirates side, especially when he's playing from the left back. Many times he made appearance to play as a centre back because we remember we had Marco, we had Dion Horto as well. But then when we didn't have Horto, Maela was recalled to come and play as a left back. We have seen how he's been performing. We have seen him, he was vulnerable against Richards Bay. And I don't think he will start on the final. I think Dion Horto will be the player who starts. And ability which comes with Dion Horto. He's a one utility player. He can play as a left wing, can play as a centre back, and his work ethics, it's unquestionable. So I think attacking on the offensive phase of the game is good, and then on the defensive phase of the game is also good. We will manage well on that side of the pitch. But then with Uxoke being injured, yeah, I was hoping and praying that maybe Coach Riviero will use Nda and Sesane as the new pairing for centre backs, because Pirates, we build from the back. We play simple formation 4-3-3 half of the time. So we require a lot of building from the back, and half of the time we're in possession of the ball. So you need ball playing centre backs. With Sesane has that ability. He has mastered it. He has been playing very well from the games that he's been playing. And then with Nda, he's one of the best centre backs in the PSL. Sorry not to brag about it, but he's one of the best.
One of the best. I like the one.
I'm not saying he's the best, because there are also good contenders for that.
Yeah.
But then he's one of the best. He has all the capabilities. We have seen him being vulnerable against Richards Bay. He was always winning all the one-on-one duels. He was winning them, most of them. So I thought maybe the coach would use Usesane and as centre backs, but then on the previous game against TS Galaxy, he opted for Usibisi. And
too many mistakes in his game. I think we'll pounce on him. I think Ushalulile will definitely pounce on him if he's on the pitch.
Capitalize on
very reckless in position as well.
And it's not a ball playing centre back for that matter, because.
But don't you think you need him for such a game? Because Sundowns is we are masters again press, the counter pressing. I think don't you think maybe you need a centre back that thinks like sometimes thinks safe. Let's play long based on the opponent in Zobendlalana. Don't you think Usibisi maybe would be best suited based on Shalule has a crazy press on him?
No, I don't think he's the best person to start with on the game. And sorry to Usibisi to say this, but I think Sesane and Da. The most, if we plan to build from the back and to absorb the pressing that Sundowns will bring, Sundowns will press us very, very high.
But Mkobe, before you continue, and this is the thing, people don't, sometimes they don't understand why I speak about conditioning coaches. That's the most important part of a technical team member. Right. And if you can look at Jorge Rivero when he came to Orlando Pirates, right? He brought in this guy from Spain. I just forgot his name. Which is
from Esperance.
From Esperance. He came with that guy from Ilentuza. And then immediately, that's why I normally say, at some point, maybe you can give Jorge a credit, because I think he's a ruthless person. You won't see him because he's a quiet coach, but I think he's ruthless in terms of how he removed Abu Kemit from his starting lineup. You can count a lot of players that he's actually, now he's opted for a different kind, because I think he's been in South Africa for a long time. And then immediately what he did is that he got another conditioning coach from Yanga, African Yanga, which is Uhelmi Kalchini, which is a person that I want to touch on basically. Uhelmi, I think is one of the top, the guy with Slut, I think is an incredible conditioning coach. You look at the NH Pirates at Lalanga, you look at Abu Tito, you look at Abu Mabasa, you look at all the players, Abu Mbata, you guys look sharp, you look clean, you look very fit, you look energetic. I think that guy is doing an incredible job. One of the reasons why I said Kaizer Chiefs, they need someone who thinks about the game, who has played the game, who is a conditioning coach. So I think them changing the conditioning coach was one of the positives. You guys changing a conditioning coach was one of the positives. But I just want to move based conditioning coach at Sundowns, Abu Sbuda and Abu Riding. I think they've also done an incredible job in terms of ensuring that the boys are less injured, because you look at a player fan Nabu Kekana, how many games they've played this season. Look at a player fan Nabu Riding. But to be honest with you, I just feel my feelings are with Mamelodi Sundowns. I think Coach Roland Morin, I think he will go the tried and tested the back six national team, which includes the goalkeeper Ron Williams, Umkwena, and the normal back four Gamvala, Modiba. I think this game is not a game of taking risks, to be honest with you. I don't think it's a game where we need to hybrid any centre back, because to be honest with you, Umabasa plays, if you guys play with Umabasa, he's going to want to pin Umvala at the back, and he can never pull Umvala. And Ukekana, it's model seat defending. Man, you understand? It's proper development. Understand? See, screen and players pokeball as Lugana Nenteni. Umahopa is the kind of striker that gives us problems, because now it gives us something to think about, because we drop her into our pockets. Yeah, you understand?
That's true. So for me, what I can predict, I can assure you this: Mabasa will start ahead of Mahopa. More because it's been the used combination. You don't want to change your offensive players on big games like this, because you only have 90 minutes to make it, and there's no repeat on that. You can lose the final because you didn't start your well-playing offensive players. We know Pirates is gonna usually on the offensive side they play with Mawasa as a striker, and then he plays between the two centre backs. I've said this before. And then he doesn't drop, he doesn't do anything. He just play between the two defenders, and then he counts on the moment when he get into the box. And then on the left, there's gonna be Mufukeng. He'll be playing on the deeper end of the left wing. And then on the right, but although he's not gonna play as a right wing, it's gonna be Shevchenko. There's gonna be Dlamini, and then there's gonna be Tito, and then maybe Mbata, and then Makaula in the middle. So that. With all that structure, I don't necessarily think Pirates will try to break through Sundowns through the middle. They will penetrate from the sides. Because that's where maybe Sundowns might be vulnerable. But when it comes to ball playing midfielders, Sundowns is one of the best in the country.
I think that's the strength of Orlando Pirates, because you guys are taking a wing back. But to be honest with you, our strength is to play through the opponent. So there's a difference between obviously playing around the opponent. Playing around the opponent would obviously be using the fullbacks, and playing through the opponent would obviously finding the defensive midfielder, the number 10. So when you look at the structure of how we play recently, is we would, when we started the season, we would have a 4-4-2, right? We would have two strikers that are playing as split strikers. But if you can check now, the fact that Ribeiro has been injured, Ushalulile also plays a different role now. Moments in the game he sticks in between the centre backs, and then moments in the game he will swipe on the left or on the right, based on the game is. And then you look at the structure of build-up, you'll always have a 3, because it depends. Okay, against the previous game, we played with a double hybrid centre-back. But I feel in a big game like that, we need to make a decision as whether do we hybrid. Remember, you can't hybrid and invert same time. Ne? So we need to make a decision as to whether we hybrid or we invert. I feel that in that game, position Aubrey is going to be very important, because I think we might invert to Aubrey, playing next to Mkwena, and then we'll have that 3, which is Umdao. I don't think his responsibility would be to overlap, because I think we'd be worried about Mfukeng. Okay. I understand. I think he will pin him back, but also that boy Velemele some contain some make 1v1. I think Umdao will stay in a 3, underlap, make it a 3 with Ukekana and Umvala on the left, Obrangena Pagatu to create the 2, say advance Alende, and then we'll have Mshishi, master of his Babambi's space indicate, we'll have Mshishi. I think it's so important to Lochi should come back into the starting lineup. I don't know if you saw how well developed left foot. Sundowns, we are coaches that we improve football players. I think this is one credit that Coach Orlando doesn't get. He improves football players. I don't know if you saw the crosses that Uloch with his left foot. I think Uloch is going to be crucial for us on that game. And then obviously you've got Ushash. I don't know if Ribeiro will be ready for that game. But Ulisi Banku, I think he'll be incredible for us in the second half, because I feel that if we do get an early goal, and then I think we'll need more dribbles. But I think in the first half, we need more technical players who will play behind the midfield, the Orlando Pirates, so that we can find those pockets. Because I don't think it's a solution playing around the Orlando Pirates. I think we need to play through you guys, for you guys to break us.
Yeah, playing on the side, Sundowns, I doubt they will have much strength playing with the side, because you were using players, recently you were using Nku, you were also using Matthews.
Yeah.
They are good. But then, are they the team that can beat Pirates in this final? I doubt they can.
The approach is different. I think we'll have a different approach on the second half. I think even if you can look at how we played the last 2 games, I think we needed dribbles. We needed people that can dribble, because we were playing against a low block. That's why you could see, normally Mastali season, we didn't play with width. But in the last couple of 6 games, we have width. It's either you will have full backs as width, and I questioned that. I said, having full backs as an attacking option, I don't think that's the right profile. Can we have a different profile if we are playing with width? That's why against the previous game, we played with Uloch, no Nku, or Ulentuzu Matthews, no Nku. So that gives us a different dimension, because it also gives us a cutting situation with Nku on the right, because it brings in that in swinger, and then Uloch as well. I understand. So we've changed how we play. I feel that the Pirates will struggle to contain, because you guys are unsure whether Sizoza relationism plus positional play, or positional play. Angifuna ukubizalela kama. Uzothi ngiqalile ngabo khoje ngoke di possession. But
I think but I as a fan and maybe as someone who has an eye for football, I would say Sundowns will play more positional. They are not going to play relationist as their approach for the game. Because you are going to bring the likes of our Tembazwane. They will be back.
Yeah, we're not going to risk.
Yeah, they are going to bring your solid first 11 that you have been using maybe from the starting of the campaign up until maybe to this day. But then with Pirates, it's just a matter of, can we contain Sundowns and not make them score? Possession, Sundowns, yes, they will dominate. They are going to dominate possession. And that's one thing that Pirates fans and
don't forget
supporters...
0 chances as well. We give away 0 chances.
Yeah,
0 chances.
Let me finish. Let me learn that. You are going to have the ball possession that you usually... Because that's your strength of the game.
Yeah.
You need to possess the ball. But then I've seen, especially on cup games, possession doesn't really matter. What matters is the scoreline.
Right.
Because you can have 60-40, you can have 70-30, but then Pirates actually won. And then they have the trophy at the end of the day. You have beautiful football. We have the trophy to showcase.
But that's the thing. With the Pirates. You guys have not been defending well. You look at your 2 previous games, the defending has been horrible.
Yeah.
And people are having me for in about Koki, but you look at about Koki, they've got too many mistakes there at the back. And I'm not saying it's a blessing in disguise for Pirates to out, but I felt that the introduction of Unda, even if you can look at the previous game, now, I think it was incredible, Unda. Understand? So that if you guys can fix your back four, because for me personally, I don't see how the Orlando Pirates will stop Mamelodi Sundowns, to be honest with you. Because even if you can look at the lineup, as I said, it's going to be full, almost international players. Because I think even if you can look at that back 5, which includes Williams, I think the only difference, Lapayana, in that back 7, Alende.
Yeah.
I think Alende Pela, who's going to be, and their position in the national team is Uyaya. You understand? And I think you can argue who's better between Uyaya and Alend. So if you have 7 already, those are international players. They are used to playing tough games of consequence. So that's why I'm saying Orlando Pirates are used to, you guys give us a problem all the time as Lalanan in big games. But I just feel I'm not saying disappointed, because the squad of players has done incredibly well. But I would expect them to dominate Orlando Pirates. You understand? I would expect them to dominate Orlando Pirates in terms of shots on target, in terms of ball positions, chance created, box entries, duels won, interceptions. I'll expect us to dominate in that aspect, because looking at the caliber and the quality and the profile of players that we have as a club. Because when you think about Ushasha, when you think about Ribeiro, those are some of the best attacking players we have in the league. Because even if you can look at our national team, Konamanji preliminary squad, I think there's only one Mamelodi Sundowns player that is there as an attacker, which is Umshishi. You know, I would expect Abo Lodge to come to the party. I would expect Abo Matthews to come to the party. Abo Lisibanku to come to the party. We need more dribbles, like we said. And one of the things, Mkobe, in the beginning of the season, our coach said, we are signing Abo Nku, Nabo Masego, and Abo Ribeiro, because we need more dribbles. We needed to break low block, which is some of the things that we struggled with in the second half of the season. But I feel that the influence of our coach Michael, Abo the Dale Solomons, the analyst, the football analyst at the club, I think they've done an incredible job analyzing and assessing how the team has been playing. Because I can tell you now, Coach Rulan was unhappy with how we were playing in the last 6-7 games before we played against the TS Gaelic. No, it's Kukune. Because actually that was the game that woke us up. Les Kukune, when Umkocho came in the second half and dominated the game. I think after that game we played really well. So I think in the last couple of 3 games, I think we've been incredible in terms of our display, the football that we play tactically. I think we are in a pre-season of how we want to play last season. I don't know if you saw the previous game when we played with 2 midfielders as centre backs that were both hybriding and all those things. What is incredible. What Coach Rulani shows us as football fans, as technocrats, it's amazing. I think it's not short of great.
It's football showcasing on its own.
Yeah.
But what I can assure you, Lindo, is that as much as you feel that you will have the dominance that you will have, even if you reference the empty net for that matter, the final that we played this season for that match, Sundowns had the dominance that they were, and they created the chances that they did. But the funny story about
2 penalties not given, say it.
Yeah.
2 penalties not given, say it.
They're not given, so they cannot discuss something that was not given. So, be that as it may, cup games are always about goals.
Yeah.
And whoever scores and wins the match, won the match.
Yeah.
You know? So, what I can assure you, Lindo, is that the only way that Sundowns has in containing Pirates, if they can manage Pirates on transition phase, you are going to dominate the game, rest assured. The only thing that matters from Pirates, it's what we can do on transition against Sundowns. And how do we catch Sundowns being in a vulnerable position? And I think the ace to that will be Tito Mboweni
I wanted to ask you that. Who's the key
Ambulance
player for Orlando Pirates on that day? The key player.
The
Most important. I know there's so many. I know everyone has his role, but
everyone has his role.
Yeah?
For me, it will be, if he starts, of course, it will be Mbata. Talent Mbata will be.
I'm glad you never said Tito because he hides when he plays.
Yeah, he'll be the most vital player in transition because you have seen what he does on transition with the ball. So he's the one who feeds our Tito, our Rile, and then our Dlamini.
Yeah.
And then Dlamini plays, as sometimes he switched to number 10 and then he plays double pivot with Utito.
Yeah.
And then if we can just make that link to work on transition phase, Sundowns will be very vulnerable.
Mina, to be honest with you, I think the most important player for us is Marcelo Allende. I think he's the key player. I think he's the difference between the two teams in terms of quality. I don't think a Pirates has a player like Marcelo Allende that thinks like him.
We don't.
I think he's the most important player, more special look and fancy team and get us into the Orlando Pirates half. But it's going to be an incredible game. I think Mina predict a very crazy score like 3-1 to be honest to Mamelodi Sundowns. I think we'll score a very early goal. Second half, I think score a linear just before you have time. Equalize the second half and totally hope is in kill confidence. In 75 minutes, score less 3 some start cup so celebrate.
My prediction is that the goals won't come from the first half. The goals will come from second half, and it will be 2-win Pirates. Yeah, 2-1. Pirates will win.
2-1. Oh, not 2-0. 2-1.
No, not 2-0. 2-1.
As on kill confidence in 75
and
minutes.
You're going to score the late goal. You're going to score the late goal. Maybe 88, 82. That's when you will get your consolation goal.
Yeah.
But then Pirates is going to win this one.
All right. Aucham, thank you very much.
Hola.